Okay, so we're going to do a quick unboxing video on the Sirocco 360 well, basically fan, 12 volt fan, made in Canada, and I'll take you through on the side. So of course it swings 360. You got the thickened grill, not a complete mesh but a thickened grill. Blade allows a 360 airflow, 3 different speeds, 4 timer setting, 3, 6 or 9 or 12 hours. So that's pretty important if you're in a caravan or somewhere or motorhome and you want to turn it on, go to sleep and not worry about it. So this one here set me back about 140 bucks, or sorry, about 150. And it was just off eBay, so I think I'll unbox it now. Here we have the voltage. You have a 12 volt or 24 volt, so that's good if you're using it in a truck sort of setup or a large motorhome. So just opening up the box here. Okay. More packing. More packing. I'll see if I can find a tape measure as well and give you some sort of size on this. Okay, so this is how it comes. You have your instructions, you have your fan set up here. Smells a little bit plasticky-ish, but that's alright. So this was a more expensive one. You can buy cheaper fans like this Narva one over here, and I'll take you through that later on. Let's first of all see what's included in the accessories. Okay, so you have a mounting plate, and it looks like there's 2 bolts that go through there, and then you screw through the others. 2 stainless bolts are included in there with double nuts for each one. They look like M3, I think they are. Here you have your wire. It's labelled with a positive and a negative, which is handy. You have a bit of a clump of wires here, which I believe probably has a magnet in there to suppress any interference that it might give off. So if you're listening to the radio and you have the fan going, it's not going to travel through into the radio. We have some double-sided tape here. I'm not too sure on what that's used for. We have the book, available in black and white. 7010 CA is a white one, 7010 CA BBX is the black one. Okay, so it's telling us basically on how to install it. Going through now, it's showing the positive and the negative part here. If you can see that there. Oh, okay, so that's on the back of the fan. There seems to be some sort of terminals. Okay, so there's our terminals, negative and positive there, and they're telling us to wire them and then put it through the plate. And this obviously clips on there and then slides into position. And once it's into position, this hole here and this hole here are clear, which means you can bolt that through there. So it comes with a mounting plate. Although looking at it right now, it's not very heavy, probably talking about a kilo. I wouldn't be surprised if you could just screw straight through here if you're screwing onto something which is worthwhile and it's reasonably strong. Now this button on the side here, this big long one, which is this one here, that one there is the speed. Okay, what else are they going to tell us? This one here down the bottom is to adjust it. Looking at it now, okay, current draw amps at 12 volt on low, 0.12 amps, on medium 0.22 amps, on high 0.35 amps, so not even an amp, so that's fairly good. Of course on 24 volt it's halved, on low 0.06, medium 0.11, 0.21 for high. So what I'm really interested in is how noisy it is, because the other fan was extremely noisy. So it just goes through there. I think we're going to be in a different language now. So that's our instructions there. Okay, they're the parts there. Let's have a quick look at this. Okay, so here's our device. Here's our fan setting. We have some LED lights which will also indicate it there. Looking around on this side here. We also have the fan setting on this side as well, so we can control it on both sides. This is our adjustment, so we can move it where we want it, clip it. Okay, and it just falls into position there. So I'm going to bring it here. It falls into position. Okay, it falls into position. So you put it where you want and it'll fall into position close to, and then it's a fixed unit. Okay, so now let's look at how this like gyro business works here. So we can turn it this way. It's got little spring with ball bearing type holding mechanism working here. So that will stop that from going anywhere. They say 360, so there's 180. Looks like you can keep going and going. Not too sure how the wiring's working in here or if it's just a... Okay, so you can go that far and then spin it all the way around to that far. That's quite a bit of clearance. Okay, now let's work at this center part. Okay, you can go one way and you can go the other way. So out of that, there's probably nowhere you really can't reach. That's outstanding range for a little fan. Most importantly, I want to just quickly power it up and just hear it. I'd like to know how it sounds because I have another fan here and I'm going to power that one up too. That's a little bit cheaper, that one. This is the more expensive one. Okay, so we're just going to look at this now. Now looking at the wires, the trace wire, which is one with all the dots, that's negative. So the wire with no markings on it, that will be positive. I'm going to screw that up the top here. I'm just going to quickly attach it just to power it up. Okay, that's one. That's two. Now I'm just going to use a battery pack here and power this one up. This should give it 12 volts worth of power. It's not exactly designed for this type of setup, this battery pack, but it should be enough to... Okay, so we have power now. Okay, so that's slow speed. That's extremely quiet. Okay, so you've got the timer on the left here. As I click it, it goes through 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the more I click it, the longer it's going to be on for. And then I keep clicking this one to increase the speed. I also have down here 3, 6, 9, and I think 12. So that's basically on how long it's going to run for on this side here. So that relates to the time. It doesn't relate to the speed. So I'm just going to power it up again. Maybe my battery power, it's turned itself off. It's actually my battery. The reason it's not turning on straight away is my battery unit. It's not designed to be giving out 12 volts like that. Just power it off. Nope. Should have picked a better battery pack, I think. Yep, should have picked a better battery pack. Oh, we've got power now. Alright, so I hold it down, nothing. Pushing that button, pushing that button. Once it gets started, it should be fine. It's actually my battery pack that's doing this. Okay, do we have another battery pack? Do we have another one? No, I don't think we do. Okay. Okay, so we're back. We're going to use a 12 volt 5 amp. So I'll just disconnect that. So the jump start obviously wasn't enough, wasn't good enough to power this unit. It's not exactly right. So I'm just going to power it up here. This one here. Should have power now. There we go. One button, two button, three button, and it's extremely quiet. Four button off. I'll try the button underneath now. So I turned it on to stage 2 on the back. I turn it on to stage 3 on the front. So So the buttons you can use both ways, and that's giving off real nice air right there. Alright, so that price wise expensive, $150, build wise excellent, quality sound excellent, rotating excellent. No cover here on the blade. I would have liked that, but that's the design. Now this is the one I'm replacing. This is made by Narva. 2 speeds, no timer, no nothing. Basically turn it on and off. The reason I'm replacing it is because it's extremely noisy. So I just want to show you how noisy so you can compare the two. Push this one in here. So I mean, it does give out a fair amount of fan. Not as much as the other one. The blade's smaller, but if you can hear that. That's very loud, especially at night time. Even if you push on this, it doesn't really change it. If you go on low speed, it is quieter. It is flexible, so you can get all the angles and things. It's mounted just with 2 screws. I even put a little cushion on the back of it here to try and get it to quieten down, but it wouldn't quieten down. So that's the Narva, which is about $60 compared to this one, the Sirocco, which is about $130. And yeah, well, you get what you pay for. And if you're going to put in an RV or somewhere that you're going to be close to it, I would definitely get this one. Okay, thanks for watching.